Hello, welcome back. Welcome to the new subscribers who are here, or if you're not subscribed, glad you're here too. So, if you're new here, I'm Megan. I have a 4-year-old and 1-year-old twins, and I'm currently pregnant with my 4th kid. I am just going to do a first half of pregnancy video. I'm so sorry if you hear the twins in the background. They are currently going down for a nap and they are just talking back and forth to each other, like screaming back and forth to each other. So if you hear them, they are not crying and screaming because they want to get out. They are just talking to each other. I was going to do a first trimester recap video, second trimester recap, all of the things. But since I'll be 21 weeks pregnant tomorrow, I'm like, better late than never. I might as well just do the first half of pregnancy. So welcome to the first half of pregnancy video. It's been long awaited. I've been meaning to do it for some time now. Anyway, this pregnancy has been completely different than my other pregnancies. So my other pregnancies were very traumatic and very anxiety provoking, and this one has been very uneventful. With my first son's pregnancy, it was very traumatic. The birth was traumatic. The twins' pregnancy, traumatic again. The birth was traumatic, and this one has been super chill, uneventful. A lot of times I forget that I'm pregnant. So I'm either so busy with the other kids, or I am just feel great that I don't feel pregnant. And I literally, up until, when did I start feeling the baby? 15, 16 weeks, I was like, oh, I am pregnant. The baby's moving. It has been amazing. It's been completely different in a good way. Thank you, Jesus, because I'm already so busy. I can't imagine being in and out of the hospital. I'm gonna back up from the very, very beginning. As a lot of you may have seen or not seen, there's a video about it, but I had a miscarriage in March. It was my second miscarriage. And after that, I was on the page of, you know what, we'll wait until December to try for the 4th baby. And my husband was on the page of, I don't care when it happens. When it happens, great. So there was a little bit of miscommunication there, and hence I am currently pregnant. I am due in December instead of going to be pregnant in December. It's funny because I literally tracked ovulation and wasn't ovulating, but I guess because of the miscarriage and stuff, or I don't know what happened, but I'm pregnant. And I even asked our doctors when he told us the conception date, I'm like, these dates don't line up. And he goes, well, the only answer is that it's not his kid. And I love our doctor. We joke all the time, especially in the twin pregnancy. I was there every week for checkups and stuff. And so we know him pretty well. He just laughed and is like, no, he is only person. So anyway, not gonna go into my sex life. So this pregnancy I am seeing my high-risk doctor again. Since my history of preterm labor and stuff like that, then we all feel more comfortable about keeping the high-risk doctor. And so I see the high-risk doctor. The reason I decided to take a pregnancy in the first place was because I was feeling so off. Wasn't feeling myself. I was feeling just tired and off and kind of a blah feeling, I have an extra one, I'm just gonna take it. So I didn't record the reactions and stuff like I did with the twins because we were actively trying. And with this one, I didn't record because I was like, it's not going to be positive. It's not going to say yes or pregnant or whatever test that I took. And so I took it, and then there was a line, and so I took a digital one and I went into my husband's office and I was like, look, I'm like, what? And we were both kind of speechless. So we were kind of just shocked, but it'll be okay because we wanted another one eventually, And so we quickly just got excited after the initial oh my word, what? So I'm gonna go ahead and go into symptoms. So my first symptoms were I think these ones kind of hit at once, like fatigue, bloating, and like the whole constipation thing, which incorporates into the bloating. So I was very, very tired. I literally had to take naps every single day. I would put the twins down for a nap, take Gray in the bedroom with me, and just, he needed to nap. And so we would just all take a nap. And that literally happened up until the second trimester. Every single day, naps. Like, that was the best thing. Because I was so bloated, I was like showing so much quicker, and I was like, because we already planned to basically like not share the pregnancy on social media or anything until like 20 weeks, like halfway. And it was pretty hard because since it's my fourth kid, I was showing so much sooner. And so that was hard. I really took a step back from social media and vlogging and doing everything that I enjoy doing because one, I was just so tired, and two, I couldn't take a picture because people would be like, oh my gosh, is she pregnant? Blah, blah, blah. Which like, I wasn't gonna lie if someone asked me, you know? And so those were like my first main symptoms. And then the food aversions were, I didn't have nausea or anything until about like 9 weeks, but my aversions to food were super heightened. Even to this day, I'm still like, some days I'm like ravenous and hungry and stuff, but a lot of the days I'm like, nothing sounds good. I don't want that. Nothing sounds good. So morning sickness. The pregnancy with Grayson and the pregnancy with the twins were so bad. Like, the sickness was unreal. I was working during my pregnancy with Grayson, and I literally had to call out so many times just because I was so sick. I couldn't even function. With the twins, I was so sick and had to be put on a Zofran pump. And basically I had hyperemesis with both pregnancies. With this one, I did not feel nauseous or sick or anything up until about like 9 weeks. And even then it was, if I throw up once in the morning, then like I'm good the rest of the day, you know? So I'll do that, and then like I'm not really nauseous. Some days I'm nauseous more than others, but it was great. And in fact, because I didn't have so many symptoms and stuff that I did in like the previous pregnancies, I was like, something is wrong. I feel great. I have energy. Overall I had energy. Yes, I was fatigued and stuff, but literally thinking that something was wrong because I was feeling so great. Also, I was only sick for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then I was fine again, you know? And so that was probably, I think, the biggest difference this pregnancy, other than with this baby, the heart rate is consistently high. And with the others, it was like a little bit high at the beginning, but down in like the 120s, 130s. And then this one has been in like 150s, 160s, whatever. So I'm like, is this normal? Like, is this okay? And so they were like, yeah, like healthy baby. I think the hardest weeks were probably week 9, week 10, because when I was sick and exhausted and stuff, like I still had 3 other kids to take care of. I still had to make sure that I was showing up for them, that I was feeding them, that I was doing everything that I would normally do. And it was so hard. But we're over that hump, we're over all of that, and things are amazing. Throughout this entire pregnancy, I have also been currently still breastfeeding the twins, which has been hard. Not bad, but like, for example, when I would feel sick or tired or something, then they would be either tandem feeding or just breastfeeding and then pushing on my stomach, and that would make me feel nauseous. I'm like, what are you doing? Because River sometimes likes to play with my belly button. And so yeah, he would do that. And then also when your boobs get sore, I would dread latching them because it would hurt so bad. But now they're only nursing to comfort basically once, maybe twice, maybe 0 times. Like it fluctuates every day from like 0 to maybe 2 times a day. So we are currently in the stages of weaning. I am hoping that they are weaned by the time this baby comes, because I do not want to breastfeed 3 babies at once. I can't do that. It was hard enough with 2. So my cravings with the other pregnancies have been like chips and like pickles and salty and all of that stuff. And with this one, it has been specifically, so either the Raising Cane's like sauce or specifically the cookie dough bites that you would get at the movie theater. It's like the cookie dough and then like it's like dipped in chocolate or something. Oh my gosh, like it's basically been sweet stuff. I remember at the beginning of this pregnancy, I was just couldn't find anything that I wanted to eat because of my aversions and stuff. And my friend brought me a whole bag of cookie dough bites and like the sweet nerd ropes and stuff like that. And they were so good. Yeah, so sweet stuff has been chef's kiss. I think my biggest overall symptom has been anxiety. I mean, anxiety is pretty normal in pregnancy and like motherhood and stuff, but with this pregnancy, I've had 2 miscarriages in the past. And so at the beginning, I was terrified that, oh, like I'm gonna lose another baby. Something's gonna go wrong. Or, you know, I was put on progesterone pretty early because of my history, and my progesterone is normally low, and I've been literally on progesterone up until 12, 13 weeks. And then we had a like little complication and I was back on progesterone at 14 weeks up until I'm gonna be on it until 36 weeks or whenever I give birth. And I'll talk about that like low complication in just a minute. But I think for my first ultrasound, Clayton and I were both terrified that it was gonna be twins again. I don't know what I would do. I have a friend who I met in the NICU who has 2 sets of twins, and she has 5 kids and 2 sets of twins, and I am just amazed by her every day. But I did not want 2 sets of twins. And so we are just very thankful that it's just one baby, one baby who is healthy so far. Another thing that played a huge part in the anxiety was my history of preterm labor. Like, I think that is my biggest fear this pregnancy, is going into preterm labor. I had a preterm birth with Grayson. I had a preterm birth with the twins. I think my very first appointment, my doctors were like, you are very, very high risk for preterm labor. And so I would prepare and expect a NICU stay. And that way, if it doesn't happen, then you're pleasantly surprised. But even today, the doctor was like, you have a 60, maybe 65 chance of making it to 36 weeks, 37. And which, like, if we can get there, then I will be happy. If we can get to 36 weeks, then that is my goal. Once we hit 36 weeks, then we can go to 37, 38, whatever. But if I can get past when I usually go into preterm labor, then I will be happy. Even 34 weeks, I will be happy. But anyway, so once we got over the hump of, oh, I'm nearing the 2nd trimester, things are going great, things are going good, my anxiety started easing. And then I had an appointment literally right before our road trip, and I was 14 weeks. I had my first cervical length check. Usually they do them around like 16 weeks, but because I was going to be out of town, we had the road trip. Then my doctors decided to go ahead and do an early cervical length check, and I'm glad that they did because my cervix is already short. And so at 14 weeks put me on a vaginal progesterone, and so now that is what I'm going to be on up until 36 weeks or until I give birth, or whatever one comes first. And so that was like a complication that, you know, on the road trip I was having contractions, and because of my shortened cervix already and my history with preterm labor, my on-call doctor wanted me to go to the hospital while we were in Texas and just get checked out and stuff. And so that has been like a huge fear of mine, is just preterm labor. And I know every pregnancy is different, every placenta is different, everything is different, you know, but because of my history, I am at increased risk. The anxiety surrounding that entire thing has been, I think, what's been the most heavy on me. I've never had a shortened cervix. given my history, all of my preterm labors were because of my water breaking. And so my water broke early with my first, the twins. That's not really anything that you can control. And if I'm already at risk for like my water breaking and stuff, then what about like now I have a shortened cervix, and so I have the anxiety from previous miscarriages and just scared that I'm gonna lose another baby, anxiety from shortened cervix, anxiety from my history of preterm labor, my history of like cholestasis and stuff like that. And it's just like a lot of stuff coming at once that I was like, I don't know what to do. Literally all I can do is pray. So when I hit 20 weeks, I had, or not even 20 weeks, this happened like 2 days ago. But I literally was sitting on the couch with Clayton. We were having our nightly devotions and I just like start crying. And it's just because I had like so much fear that, oh, I'm getting closer to when I normally start having complications, you know, like when I normally start having symptoms of preterm labor, actually going into preterm labor, you know, it's like I just had this complete breakdown, and it's because like I can't control anything. So it's literally giving it all to God, and that's hard. That's like really hard to do. And there's this verse that keeps coming up, and every single time I hear it, I feel convicted because it's cast all your worries and anxieties on him. And I try to do that. I think that I'm doing it, but at the same time, it's like I still want that control, and I can't have it. I can't get it. So that's been really hard. I texted my sister-in-law about it, and because like my sister-in-law just like encourages me all the time in the word and stuff. I'm so thankful for that. And so I texted her about it, and I'm just like, hey, like this is what's going on. This is what I'm struggling with. And so she said something along the lines of writing all of your fears and worries down, and then once you pray about them, then like physically crossing them off. And I've been doing that, and honestly it's gotten me back to a place where like whatever happens, God is in control. Whatever happens is gonna happen, and whether it's good, bad, ugly, whatever, like we're still gonna praise him through it. And yes, it's gonna be hard, or it's gonna be great, you know, like we don't know. But whatever happens, like it's gonna be a part of our story, and whatever it is, like we're gonna use to glorify God. And so I think that's been very reassuring to me. It's gonna be okay. That, you know, brings me to today. I had my second anatomy scan today, along with a cervical length check, because like I said, I get them done every couple weeks. It's 14 weeks. I think the last one's like around 24 weeks. Anyway, I had that appointment today, and I have to go back for a third anatomy scan because baby was just being so stubborn, which baby is going to be fitting. I like literally almost said what the baby is, but the baby is going to be fitting right in with our family. Clayton and I are both stubborn. Grayson and the twins are all stubborn. So this baby is gonna fit right in. So the third anatomy scan and everything from then on is gonna be all in the second half of pregnancy videos. So stay tuned to that. Make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on that. Just ask for like prayers for the baby, continue being healthy, just healthy pregnancy, healthy birth. You know, because overall, even if we end up with a NICU stay, as long as the baby is healthy, that's all that matters. And I pray for whatever happens that like we'll be okay with everything. So other updates, non-pregnancy related, I am kind of done with the website that I took down because I decided to completely redo it. It's Honey and Oaks. I will do, once that is up, I'm gonna do another video explaining just the name behind it, kind of what it is for, and all of this stuff, because I'm super excited about it. I have a lot of fun things planned for that. But check out my other socials. Make sure that you're subscribed if you're new here. Thank you so much for coming on this long rant with me. And yeah, we'll see you next time.